Hey, Phil from Got Memories here. Do you have videotapes and you shake them? Yeah, there's the usual rattle of the spindles, but when there's like a piece inside, and also, I'll show you here. You might be like, okay, so telltale sign here, rattling around, and also you can just do this without having to stick your finger in here, because guess what? This piece is missing. Now this bit is floating around inside, and I'm just gonna get my clamp so I can clamp around my neck here and show you how to disassemble this videotape. Stand by as I put my thingamajiggy together. Here we go. All right, clamp you here. So the problem is, you might be like, okay, this may play fine, but the thing is, you put this inside of a VCR, and this little piece can be floating around and stop all of everything from moving. So they can jam up the VCR or cause like picture juttering or issues. You know, you just don't know. So before you even attempt to put it in a VCR, rewind it, anything like that, you've got to investigate, because it's going to come back to bite you in the backside 10 minutes later, half hour later, 2 hours later, when you're trying to unscrew a VCR and get all the pieces, you know, like who knows. So this is why preparation with all the videotapes that I do, removing the record tabs as I bang on again and again. You've got to remove the record tabs, or else companies or individuals or yourself can record over home movies very easily with fat fingers. Hit the record button, boom, your footage is starting to be recorded over. Okay, so let's have a look. And I can see speckles of mold in here. Look right here at the bottom. Bits of mold, speckledy speckles. All right, so this bit right here is loose. Problem is, let's just take this out. Oh no. Problem is, when you take all this stuff out, everything else starts to fall out. Okay, that bit right there. This bit right here. I mean, it literally is Pandora's box of, some of it's essential, some of it's not. So a pair of tweezers here, and let's get that, put that back on there. That's an easy one. This is a very plasticky, moldy type of tape here, this particular thing. They're all different brands and formulations of tapes. You can see the crease points here as well, where this tape has not been moved in many decades. See, look here, that little bit there, that little bit there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give this a little clean, because it has I don't have the PEX pads. The actual things around here. We just heard a click behind me. That means one or two things. Either the tape is done, or things have gone to crap. So this is where I'm checking everything, making sure clear picture and audio is coming throughout. Spot check. These were VHS-C tapes recorded in EP, which you gotta have well-tuned VCRs for these things to be clear picture and audio. That's the goal with every single videotape I get in. And let's have a look here. That's that one. Leave that alone for now to focus on this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be cleaning this on the spindle hood, getting rid of these moldy bits, putting it all back together, and then putting it back into the housing, and then digitizing it carefully, keeping eyeballs and ears out, you know, checking everything so it all comes out looking good. And that one's gone. All right, that made a noise. These make like a whining noise when the tape gets jammed. Sometimes it's because the tape is ended. Hour and 26 minutes. Yep. So you got a bit of blue. Check it all the way through. Ooh. All the way through. Crop off blank at the end on the last frame. Save the file. Leave that alone for now. And there we go. So I'm on the tail end of this. So basically the moral of this story is that if you hear any rattling inside of the tapes, you've got to open them up to see what is going on, because this was nothing. I'm not going to put it back in, because all that does is basically like a gearing mechanism for stopping this flap opening up, and it protects the top of the tape. But I'm going to be removing the tiny bits of mold here, giving it a clean, which is why I require photos for every single order I get in. Clear picture and audio clear video. Oh my God, my brain. Clear picture of the tape so I can see the condition, check if it's been stored in climate control conditions, because people tell me porky sometimes. Oh, my stuff's in great shape. When every box I open up or customer that comes into the shop, it's the first time I'm laying eyes on these tapes, and usually, the stories haven't been quite told truthfully. And a lot of people don't know where it's been, because it's been, 40 years. So they're digging it out for the first time. But I deal with a lot of like pack rat situations where people have passed away and they've got all their it's like episode of Hoarders with all this stuff sometimes. So my job is clear picture and audio from beginning to end. 5.0 on Google. Got to check Google Maps. Got to remove your record tabs. You've got to do due diligence. Whoever you're going to be entrusting with the only copy of your memories. If you're doing this yourself, you've got to make sure check out my channel. Anyway, cheers, bye.